Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'll be sharing how I use debt to make extra income with options. I believe in being transparent and walking the talk so that you guys can learn everything. You guys can help me out by liking this video. Thank you. As I've mentioned in my previous video on how to be ultra rich, it is about having the correct framework in your brain. So one of the framework is understanding debt and use debt to generate extra profits for you. I'll link the video up here and down below for you guys to check it out. So debt is a double-edged sword. If you use it wrongly, it can wipe you out. So if done correctly, it can bring you wealth. So how do I use it? When there is an opportunity that presents itself, I take on debt with smart calculated risk. Taking on debt can be viewed as a gamble because there are probability that things may not work out. So what you want is to have a high probability that you are right. So someone said this and I agree completely. He said, and I quote, "You can gamble so long as you are the house, because the house always wins." This is something controversial and you can think about it later and see if you agree with me. Let's get to the technicals. 2 weeks ago, I posted this video saying I profited $4,600 selling a put option on Tesla. Let me quickly explain what is a sell put option to the new viewers. When I do a sell put, I'm guaranteeing to purchase the underlying stock at a price that I want. People pay me money of taking on this risk of guaranteeing to purchase the stock. I use sell put on the stocks that I have the highest conviction on. I'll link a video on options for beginners up here and down below for you guys to check it out. Okay, so this was the trade that I closed 2 weeks ago and I walked away with a full $4,600 profit. On August 14th, when Tesla is at $715, I realized that my $610 put option has a very high chance of a full profit. And the option contract itself is closing in 8 days. So this was my $610 put option, receiving $34.20 in premium. Even if Tesla crashed in 8 days, my worst case scenario is a break even at $575 because the premium can be used to offset the loss. So knowing that my risk is low, I took on margin and debt to sell another put option at $660, receiving a premium of $1,037. So this is a visual representation to showcase the time period when I used debt. After my $610 put option expired out of the money on August 20th, I'm on zero debt and leverage again. So at September 3rd, Tesla is hovering around $730. I have only 7 days left for my $660 put. From doing technical analysis, I know that $690 is a crucial support for Tesla. I decided to take on debt again to sell another put option at the same expiry, which is September 10, so that both option contract can expire together and I will be on zero leverage again. So at September 10, Tesla was at $740, way out of the money of my 660 put. I get to keep all the profits. The profit is $1,437 US, which is about 1,929 Sing dollars. So from August 22nd of my previous video to September 10 is about 19 days. So basically it's free money, $1,900 in 19 days using debt. So at the same time, I have other put positions going on, while these that I'm talking about are financed with debt. I will share these trades and upcoming trades in my next video and go into details of my thought process, so stay tuned. I've made a playlist for options, so if you guys want to get serious and learn, I'll link it up here and down below as well. Let's quickly talk about how to use debt in a safer way with Tiger Brokers. You must first have a margin account, and that is done during registration. So the important thing is knowing your total asset and your overnight margin requirement. So there are 2 scenarios where margin requirement will go up. So first, 15 minutes before market closure, margin requirement will go up a little bit. Second, when your total assets go down in value, the amount of money you can borrow is lesser. Hence, margin requirement goes up as well. So this is a dangerous scenario when your entire portfolio value is tied to 100% in stocks. And if stock market crash or have correction, your entire total assets drop and your margin requirement goes up. If you are unable to meet the margin requirement, the brokers will liquidate your position and force you to close at losses. For me personally, I'm comfortable with 10 to 20% leverage. Sometimes I will take on a bit more, but for a short period of time. So how do you check how much percentage of leverage or debt are you taking on? We look at the current risk ratio, which is debt divided by total assets. If you know what you're doing, I think 20% debt is okay. It's reflected as 20% on current risk ratio. Next, we should talk about the cost of debt. How much does it cost for you to finance when you borrow? So currently, Tiger Brokers charge about 4.08% per year when you borrow below $100,000. So this is the interest rate when you borrow, and it has went up quite a bit. So let's do some calculation. If I borrow $20,000 to sell a put option for a month, this is the calculator. 30 divided by 365 days times the principal, 20,000, times 4.08%, and this equals to $68 of interest for 1 month. So if you are able to profit from the trade, you can pocket the difference of $1,900 minus $68. So what happens when you take on too much risk? If you take on too much debt and you have not enough to maintain your margin account, the brokers will forcefully liquidate your position. especially when it's the worst time to sell, forcing you to take losses and sit on cash to maintain your margin requirement. So in conclusion, I do not advise beginners to take on debt, but slowly learn and build a system around it. So if you want to play around, you can start with 5% of debt. I hope you like this video. If you want to support my content, do subscribe and ring the bell button. I'll see you next week.